It's time for Real Talk. Movies. Everyone loves them. And opinions, everyone has them. But your opinion is the one that matters. Real Talk allows you to become the film critic. So let's see if we agree on a film, or do we agree to disagree? Thanks for joining us on Real Talk. I'm Pamela Powell. Star Wars: The Force Awakens opened in theaters this weekend to blow box office records out of the sky, taking in $120.5 million in one day and $238 million in the opening weekend, making it the largest of all time. This newest installment in the saga, taking place in a galaxy far, far away, is the sequel to the three original films many of us grew up with. I'm not even going to include the prequels that are officially episodes 1, 2, and 3, but in my mind they are 4, 5, and 6 because of when they were released. Once you get past that confusion, you can focus on when and where this story picks up. I loved it. But let's check in with two avid Star Wars fans, James D. Jones and Steve Benoit, to see if J.J. Abrams' version is up to par. James, Steve, thank you so much for joining us today on Real Talk. You guys are huge fans of Star Wars. I loved it, my first feature film I ever saw in the theater, so it's always going to hold a special memory to me. And I'd love to hear what your initial impressions are, like when you left the theater after seeing this great film. In my mind, what did you think? Why don't we start with you, Steve?
I was worn out. I'm telling you, it was a roller coaster ride of nostalgia and excitement and action and adventure. It was everything I wanted it to be. And it was a wonderful passing of the torch to the next generation of Star Wars fans.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
I left the theater in awe, plain and simple. A great movie. I got to see some of my old friends again, and it was like going home.
Is there anything that you think that J.J. Abrams just really nailed in this that maybe no other director would have done? Steve, what do you think?
I think that he just nailed the entire field. There's just this whole palette of emotions that you need to touch and tap into with a Star Wars movie. And I think as much as I enjoyed the prequels, it didn't have the je ne sais quoi that a Star Wars movie needs to have. And maybe that was on purpose, but this one felt like a familiar taste, a familiar experience, but with something different. And that's what made it palatable.
Not only did he incorporate a good paced movie, but he also gave a nod to the past while investing in the future.
Now, there has been some criticism about the fact that there wasn't anything really novel or new in this film, that he just kind of recreated A New Hope, if you will, which was episode 1, but like I said before, episode 4 in my mind. Now, do you have any agreement with that, or do you totally disagree with that?
I can see it, but I think it was necessary. You need to be able to satisfy the original fans like me. I saw the original here at Town Cinema in 1977. You have to satisfy those people and at the same time say hello to the new fans that are coming in, because you're going to have fathers and mothers bringing their children in, and all they've heard is what mom and dad have said about Star Wars, and now they have their own Star Wars. We have Han and Leia and Luke, and now they will have Rey and Finn and all the new characters that are coming in. So it's something that the entire family can enjoy. I think this step was necessary. The next one, I think, will be very different because it will be more towards the new fans.
There was a lot to say. What's happened since then? Who are these people now? Where have they been? And what lies ahead for these characters? So he couldn't just go into something new without giving that nod.
I think he laid the groundwork for setting up the next episode, like you said. And we needed to get to know these new characters, and I loved the diversity that we saw. And there's a female lead character who's strong and smart, and yet still compassionate at the same time. I loved the new character. I don't think there's really one character that I didn't like in the film, to be honest with you. How about you, James?
Same. I mean, there was, out of all the new characters, I mean, they all played a great part and were really vital to the story, really. Now, you had talked about a woman lead. I had read over the weekend that what's new about this Star Wars is they equaled out the amount of ladies that were, the same amount of ladies that were involved in this movie were more than any other Star Wars movie ever. So it happened in this movie, folks, in
That's
2015.
fantastic. We're making progress, ladies.
Yes, keep it up, sisters.
Is there anything that you felt was a disappointment in this film? I couldn't come up with anything. How about you?
Wow.
Okay, tough question.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a wonderful statement then for this film, if we can't come up with
Yeah.
a
I mean,
negative
I
for it.
could come up with a couple of them, but then we don't want to spoil it now, do we?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Absolutely no spoilers. This is a spoil-free show, and I hope
Okay.
everyone out there listening and watching is spoil-free as well. Well, I think this time we are all definitely in agreement that we are highly recommending
Oh, yeah.
Star
Big
Wars:
thumbs
The
up.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, it was good to have them back. Force Awakens, awesome.
Looking
Go-
forward to
go see
the
it.
episode number 8. We're finally in the right order now. Episode number 8 will be next.
534 days until that.
I'm impressed. Do you have a calendar to count it down and everything? No.
I'm sure someone's going to design an app.
There we go. Steve, James, thank you both so much for joining us today on Real Talk. And that's it for another Real Talk. Be sure to tune in next week when Dr. Jimenez joins me to talk about the film Concussion. James and Steve, may the force be with you.